ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Let us chant from number 14, Bahyanalambanam. Bahyanalambanam vrittehe.
Would I come back later, Sundari ji? Sukanya ji, will you chant?
Bahyanalambanam vrittehe.
Bahyanaam lambanam vrittehe.
Okay. Sundari ji, you can come back later. Yeah. Yesho paratiruttama.
Sundari ji, you can continue. Sundari ji, you'll continue. You can unmute yourself.
Bahyanalambanam vrittehe.
Bahyana.
Sundari ji, please continue.
Bahyanalambanam vrittehe. Number 14, Sundari ji.
1 minute.
Bahyanalambanam vrittehe.
Bahyanaam lambanam kritte.
Yesho paratiruttama.
Yesho paratiruttama.
Sahanam sarvadukhanam.
Sahanam sarvadukkanam.
Apratikara-purvakam.
Apratikara-purvakam.
Chinta-vilaparahitam.
Chitta-vilaparahitam.
Satitiksha-nigadyate.
Satitiksha-nigadyate.
Shastrasya guruvakyasya.
Shastrasya guruvakyasya.
Satya-buddhyavadharana.
Satya-buddhyavatarana.
Sa shraddha kathita sadbhihi.
Sa shraddha katita sadbihi.
Yaya vastupalabhyate.
Yaya vastupalabhyate.
Sarvada sthapanam buddhehe.
Sarvada sthapanam buddhehe.
Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvatha.
Shuddhi Brahmani Sarvata.
Tat Samadhanamityuktam.
Tat Samadhanamityuktam.
Natu Chittasya Lalanam.
Natu Chittasya Lalanam.
Ahankaradidehantan.
Ahankaradidehantan.
Bandhan Ajnana Kalpitan.
Bandhan Ajnana Kalpitan.
Swaswarupavabodhena.
Swaswarupavabhodena.
Moktumicha mumukshuta.
Moktumicha mumukshuta.
Okay. So we have studied till this shloka, number 17, mumukshuta. So the four aspects of adhikaritvam are vivekaha, vairagyam, samadhi shakka sampaktihi, which equals shama, dama, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam. And the fourth one is mumukshutvam or mumukshuta. And now he is going to talk about this person who is an adhikari approaching a guru. That is the next shloka that's going to come. But Bhagavan Bhashikara does not really say how to become an adhikari. How can I get viveka? How can I get vairagyam? How can I get all these things? Shama, dama. The requirements are pretty big here. And so, just like anything you want to accomplish has requirements. Anything, whatever anybody has to do, one must be somewhat qualified to slowly build up the qualification. Whatever it takes, even to ride a bicycle, one has to work on it. Or to do anything else, even to make coffee. Even to make coffee, it may not be easy for the person who has never done it. It's going to take a little time. Some qualification must be there for that. And so, the qualification is you must know where the kitchen is. So, that is the minimum qualification. So, like those things you can make your own list up. So, it's here also. Here, because Jnanam especially, because Jnanam is involved, it is all within the realm, and that too, it is not like our high school bachelor's, masters, like that kind of requirement. There, for doing a bachelor's, you need to have passed high school. To do a master's, you need to have a bachelor's. Like this, you can give. But here, even though knowledge is the end game, even though it's knowledge, it is not. It is not apara vidya. It is para vidya. And so, big difference between apara vidya and para vidya is para vidya requirement is all with. It has to do with our own character. It has to do with our own mindset and character, everything. That's very unique. So we saw that. And so he doesn't tell us how. So how we can fill up the blanks here. We can fill up the blanks. In Bhagavad Gita, he already said, Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta 3.3. Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaka Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yogina. So that Jnana Yoga being the pursuit of knowledge of the self, Swaswarupa Avabodhena, did he say last time? Or is it going to come next? Yeah, previously, Mumukshita, Swaswarupa Avabodhena. So that Avabodha is what is called Jnana Yoga by Sri Krishna. And then how do I get to that point is Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga. And what is Karma Yoga if you say? So it's a lot of things, really speaking. And so Amanitwadi he talked about in the 13th chapter. Amanitvam, Madam, Vittam, Mahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam. So that means the person who is studying Bhagavad Gita should be aware that this character is such an important thing. Character. I'm just using the word character. Means what we do and how we do things, how we speak, how we respond to situations, everything becomes important. And so your maturity, you can say, just trying to use different words for it. And every other shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, three, four shlokas, then Raga Dvesha comes. Raga Dvesha, Kama Krodha. Tell me, in one page of Bhagavad Gita, you will find Kama Krodha. Kama at least once will be there. What does he say there? Trividam Narakasyedam Dvaram Nashanam Atmanaha Kamah Krodastatha Lobaha Tasmade Tatrayam Tyajed. Like that he said once. He says there are three doors to Naraka. It seems there are three doors. What are the three doors to Naraka? Kamaha, Krodaha, Lobaha. Therefore, please give up these three, he says. Just please give up. That's it. Just like that, you give up. Like you leave the shoes outside the door, Like that, you give up. Kama, Krodha, and Lobaha. So, and then he walks away from there. So, like this, Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogaha. I think that is 16th chapter. Okay. So, Daivasura Sampat. Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. So, big chapter dedicated to all these things. Karma Yoga, whole chapter is dedicated. So, all that is how I become an Adhikari. So that I have this Karma Yoga Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, and Ishwararpana Buddhi. Easy to say just like that, but only by leading a life, a dharmic life, and paying attention to what we do, we become a Karma Yogi. And Karma Yogi means Adhikari. In this language, Adhikari. And formally in Vedanta, they use the word Adhikari. They don't say Karma Yogi. They will say Adhikari. But in Bhagavad Gita language, it is Karma Yogi. Okay. So, and so this Vedic lifestyle is very important. Vedic lifestyle is important. Any religion that most religions don't talk about knowledge, really speaking. They talk about going to heaven. But even there, qualities are required. Good qualities must be there. And but here, Avrita Chakshuhu, Amritatvam Ichan. So seeking God is equal to seeking the self. And so that's a big difference here. And so, Vedic lifestyle or Pancha Mahayajna. No, I'm too far away. I don't go to temples. I've lost it all. I don't know any mantras, nothing. Somebody says, not a problem. Pancha Mahayajna is easy. Easy, really speaking, it's easy. Starts with home. Acknowledge everything that I have today. We use the word Pitri Yajnaha. Pitri Yajnaha. Parents have passed away. I don't have anybody. Okay. Start doing the Tarpanam every month. Acknowledge, pass it on because I'm here because of my parents, and parents are here because of their parents. So this Pitri Yajna has to be done. Acknowledge, acknowledge. The more I acknowledge, the more blessings I will receive. It's very obvious. And so, Pitri Yajna. Then you have Manushya Yajna. Then what about people outside the family? Yeah, many people are there outside the family. Some of them need help. Many of them need help. Only then I can say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Otherwise, I can't say. Otherwise, it is just lip service. And so, I focus on people who need help. That I can help. With my limited, with whatever I have, I can help. That's called Manushya Yajna. Big thing. Then are you sensitive? Yes, I am a very sensitive person. What about the environment and ecology? Yes, that is called Bhuta Yajna. So much work these days. Children are being taught about plastic pollution and this pollution and that pollution, ozone and this and that. So everything these days there is so much. So much. Glaciers are melting at a fast rate. Ice and glacier is melting and then floating away from Antarctica and Arctic Ocean, just floating away like that. So all kinds of things are going on, and every government should have departments of ecology protection. A department must be there. Otherwise, and then will to act, will to grow trees and reform soil and this and that. So much is there to be done. That is called Bhuta Yajnaha. Then you've got Deva Yajnaha. Our idea of Devata, everything, all the forces beyond Earth also have to work. The planets also should be moving in the right order at the right time. Everything is working. We take it for granted. We don't take it for granted. That not taking it for granted is called Deva Yajna. I do Deva Yajna, acknowledging that I don't take anything for granted. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyatha. Again, third chapter, I think. And so devas depend on me, I depend on devas. That's what Krishna is saying. So acknowledge that. So, how do I do that? Well, you do it exactly like you do this environment protection. Same thing. Or just focus on environment. My idea of the universe is this environment. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep that in mind. Forest, afforestation, forest redevelopment, all those activities. I'll grow a plant wherever I can. They're talking about throwing seeds, and many people are suggesting that pick a bunch of seeds when you drive and then throw the seeds somewhere. So I'm not clear about that, but there must be a way to do all these things. So Deva Yajna, then Brahma Yajna. That Veda which talks to me about Pancha Mahayajna has to be protected. That Veda that has this knowledge has to be protected. And so I don't know what mantra to chant. Fine. Mantra chanting is the easiest way. And at least study about it. Somebody is teaching about the Veda, study. I want to know more. I want to know. Knowing the Veda is protecting the Veda. So, Adhyayanam, Adhyapanam, both are there. All right, Veda is equal to Shastra. All right. So, this is how I become an Adhikari. In short. And now, let's go to this shloka number 18. We have a person who is called an Adhikari. And now let's see what he says. Yeah, Sukanya, if you can unmute yourself. Yeah. Ukta sampannaha
उक्तसाधनसम्पन्नः
तत्त्वजिज्ञासुरात्मनः
तत्त्वजिज्ञासुरात्मनः
उपसीदेद्गुरुं प्राज्ञम्
उपसीदेद्गुरुं प्राज्ञम्
यस्माद्बन्धविमोक्षणम्.
यस्माद्बन्धविमोक्षणम्.
Once again, उक्तसाधनसम्पन्नः
उक्तसाधनसम्पन्नः
तत्त्वजिज्ञासुरात्मनः
तत्त्वजिज्ञासुरात्मनः
उपसीदेद्गुरुं प्राज्ञम्
उपसीदेद्गुरुं प्राज्ञम्
यस्माद्बन्धविमोक्षणम्.
यस्माद्बन्धविमोक्षणम्.
So now Bhagavan Shakracharya is entering another section. He is finished, he has completed the description of an adhikari. He says an adhikari is needed to go to the next step. And the next step is indicated by the verb upasidet. First word of the second line is upasidet. That's the verb. Upasidet means may approach, may seek out and go to, That is the meaning of Upasidet. Who should do that? This adhikari that we talked about so far. That's person who is ready, who is primed. And that guy is called Ukta Sadhana Sampannaha. That's the name of the person. It's also called adhikari. I'll explain all these things. Okay. So this Ukta Sadhana Sampannaha should approach who? A guru. Gurum. Gurum Upasidet. That's the main sentence. Ukta Sadhana Sampannaha Gurum Upasidet. May the adhikari approach a guru. That's what Shankara is saying in this in this shloka. Upasidet. Does something come to your mind when you hear a word like this? Upasidet.
Upanishad?
Anyway. Correct. Mohini is correct. Upanishad comes to our mind.
Even Upagamya.
Upagamya.
Upagamanam or Upasadanam. See, all right, those things are also good. But Upanishad, that word which has the root Sid Dhatu or Sad Dhatu. Okay, this is a little bit of grammar. And in Kathopanishad, Shankaracharya started the Upanishad by explaining the word Upanishad. That Sad, that same Sad only is here also. Upasad. Upasad becomes Upasid. And Sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishushyati. All those words. Sidanti. My hands are all sweaty and my bow is just slipping from my hand. Correct? So that's what Krishna is saying. I mean, Arjuna is saying there. And so Sid. So Gati. Gatyarthe. Gatyarthe. In the sense of moving. Where it should not move. Things should not move. This guy, the bow is moving. So arrow should move, not the bow. So here also Upasid, movement, Gatyartaha, movement. Upasid, Upa Samipe, go near, approach. That's the meaning. May this person approach a guru. That's a tradition. That's a tradition. And even Narada also approached a guru. After he said, I am a Mantravid, I know all the Vedas. This man knows all Vedas also. Rig Vedam, Adhyemi, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, Atharvana. How many times we have said this? I'm still fascinated by that. Adhyemi. He gives a big list. There is nothing available after that. Because teacher asked him, Sanat Kumara asked him, tell me what you know, then I'll teach you. And everything is there. Finally, Narada accepts. Mantra videva asmi natu atma vid. I am a knower of mantras, but I don't know Atma. You can know mantras, but you don't know Atma. That is the meaning from there. That means I don't know the meaning of the mantras. Okay, where does this come? I know mantras, but I don't know the meaning of mantras. Where else does it come?
Upanishad.
Just now we completed in Mandaka. Shabda Jnanam is there. Shabdartha Jnanam is there. Shabda Rashi Jnanam. Shabda Rashi means I can chant. Drankarne Vishrunayama Deva. I can chant all mantras. But I don't know the meaning of the words of the mantras. So that is a meaning there. So there also. So he says, Shrutaha eva aham bhagavadrishebhyaha. Narada. Shrutaha eva aham. I heard. I have heard, he says. Narada says, I have heard that bhagavadrishebhyaha means people who have seen Bhagavan. People who have seen Bhagavan, I have heard. What did I hear? Tarati shokam atmavit. Atmavit, only a knower of Atma can cross over sorrow. Like that Narada says. So Bhagavad Trishebhyaha. And then he asks that Sanat Kumara to teach him. Okay, that is how it goes. So we have Pramanam for all these things. Undaka also we are going to see. We are going to see that Savitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmasat Avigachet. Parikshalokan karmachitan nirvedamayan brahmanaha nastyakritah kritena Sa gurumeva bhigachet. Like that, Mundaka is going to tell shortly. So Gurum abhigachet. Here Gurum upasidet. Okay, same things. You'll find the same thing everywhere. Why should I go to a guru? I have a lot of books. Look, stacks and stacks of books. And my grandfather's books are there. My parents' books are there. They are also big pundits. And so I have enough books. In fact, I don't have to go to the store at all. Everything is there. Original Sanskrit books also I have. So I really don't have to go to a guru at all. Guru is sitting right here. So now, if I say that, you're welcome. Shastram doesn't stop us from studying. Self-studying is good. So reading books is always good. Studying books. The question is, what will you get out of this? This is not aparavidya. And aparavidya mindset, if I use and go with paravidya, then I'm going to get stuck. That is a problem. That's the problem. That is why they say, the Guru has to change my mindset. Has to tell us what is this whole Vidya about and why Vidya. We saw in Kaivalya Upanishad, Nanyaf Panta Vimuktaye. We saw that. So that why is it Nanyaf Panta Vimuktaye? Why there is no other path other than knowledge? All that has to be clear. And so that is why Gurum Upasidet. And who should do this? And we saw this Guru Upasidet also in another text recently in the ashram. In the ashram. That is a clue I'll give you.
Sadhana Panchakam.
Sadhana Panchakam.
Sadhana Panchakam. And where is, what word would that be? That's a bit too much. Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karma swanushtiyatam teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitih kamye matistyajatam sadvidvan upasripyatam, he says. Same thing. Sadvidvan, he uses the word there. Upasripyatam, may be approached. May a guru, a vidwan be approached. Like that he says. All right, like this we can connect any other shastram also. Maybe in Guru Stotram, I don't think it will be there because it is a description. Guru Lakshanani, it may or may not be there. But here, Upasidet Gurum, who should approach? Ukta Sadhana Sampannaha. That person should approach a Guru. Uktani Sadhanani. Uktani Sadhanani. What the sadhanams that have been told? The sadhanams that have been told. What are the sadhanams that have been told? What are the means? Well, Vivekaha, Vairagya, etc. Uktaha means told, spelt out, defined, mentioned, presented. Uktaha. Okay. Ukta sadhanani. The sadhanams, the means, the qualifications that have been told. Okay. Uktani sadhanani sampannani yasya saha. Sanskrit students, others don't have to worry. And so, Shashti Bahuvri Samasaha. So those qualifications that have been mentioned, whoever has that, the person who is endowed, Sampannaha, person who's gifted with, endowed with those qualifications, Sampannaha, Jo Sampatti, that Sampatti, the one who has that wealth, it's called wealth, Sampatti. They say character is wealth, They say, what is it? If you lose your wealth, you've lost nothing. If you lose character, you've lost everything. Because sampatti, that character is very hard to come by. And it can't be purchased. And so, sadhana sampannaha, ukta sadhana sampannaha. And he's also given another name. Tattva jignasuhu. There are two words there. Tattva jignasuhu. Then next word is atmanaha. Two words. Okay. So let's look at that. Jignasuhu. Jignasu, you know who that is. The one who wants to know anything is called a jignasu. I want to know something. If I say, then I am called a jignasu. Jignasu. That is the word, Sanskrit word. Like mumukshu. One who wants moksha is called a mumukshu. One who wants to drink because he is thirsty is called pipasu. Pipasa bolte hain. Therefore, the thirst is called pipasa. The thirst
Mumukshu.
for hunger is called, thirst for knowledge is called jijnasa. Thirst for moksha is called, or desire for moksha is called mumuksha. All these are words related to moksha, mumukshuhu, jijnasa, jijnasuhu, etc. Okay. And jijnasuhu, desire to know. So desire to know Atma won't come just like that. Because what is the qualification is, the qualification is mumuksha, mumukshutvam. The desire for moksha only is there. That is the common desire people will have. Moksha, I want moksha. They may not know what moksha is, but they want moksha. That must be there in the culture. When we grow up in this culture, we will know this. All right. So Shankara is indicating by using the word jijnasu. You just told me mumukshuta in the last shloka. Just one shloka before you told me mumukshuta. Suddenly you are saying jijnasuta. Jijnasutvam you are talking about. You're jumping. Yes, there's a jump made. Jump made means what? I know enough to say that moksha is there, moktu micha. There is something called bondage. There is something called inadequacy. I am not comfortable with everything that is going on. I feel, I feel sometimes awful also. I feel wretched sometimes. I feel vulnerable. I feel so many problems are there. Okay, we can give a big list. Sometimes I'm happy also, but I don't like this situation. So I want moksha. This is the common understanding. This is how commonly we talk about moksha. Beyond that, people won't know in general. But bhakti is there, Bhagavan is there, temple is there, therefore people become religious. And therefore I know that with my bhakti I will get moksha. Okay, that is the next step. Moksha requires Bhagavan. Without Ishvara, there is no moksha. That much I come to know. But Shankara pushes us even more here. He says, you must know little. While listening to, accidentally some Swamiji came to my city and I went with my friend. Then I heard all these things and so I come to know a little more. Come to know a little more. What did I come to know? Hey, I came to know that moksha has everything to do with knowing the self. Parachikani, my sense organs are all outward, and this outward pursuit is not going to give me moksha. It will only give me dharma, artha, and kama. Somehow I came to know this avritta chakshuhu. Somehow I have to look inwards. Look inwards. That looking inwards is better stated. Looking inwards, knowing the self is a better statement. Convert that looking into knowing. From seeking moksha to turning inwards to knowing Atma. Atma Vidya is required or Brahma Vidya is required. There is some connection between Atma and Brahma. All this I hear. And then I become what? I become a Jijnasu. This Adhikari who is a Mumukshu will become a Jijnasu. That much has become. That is a big shift. That's a big shift. He's a Mumukshu also, but became a Jijnasu. Muksha has to be converted to Jijnasa. That is what Shankara is indicating by using the word Jijnasuhu. Tattva Jijnasuhu. What do I want to know? Tattva. Truth. Tasya bhavaha tattvaha. Truth of that. Truth of that. Truth of what? Atmanaha. Atmanaha tattva jijnasuhu. I can know anything. But in this case, Atmanaha tattva jijnasuhu. Of Atma. If I don't know what Atma is, I need to know what Atma is also. As then I begin to understand, oh, this is Atma is so different. And there is some self-confusion. And I am already an Adhikari. First requirement, first qualification is Atma Anatma Vivekaha. Is there anyway? So already I have an idea. There is something called Atma which is very different from Anatma. And the Atma is myself. All that I know. And so, Atmanaha Tattva Jijnasuhu. See, They have a word. They have a word in our Shastram. In Tamil, there is a word called Shushrusha. Shushrusha is there in all languages. It's a Sanskrit word. It is there. Even in Math also it is there. Shushrusha. So in Tamil Nadu, they will say Shushrusha Pandit. Means you please do Shushrusha. Please do Shushrusha. That means what? You serve. You go and serve somebody. Go to the temple and serve Bhagavan. Go clean, sweep the floor, and just do namaskar. Ask them what it is, what kind of help you need. Go shushru. That is their idea of shushrusha. Go to the ashram, do something. You cut some vegetables or something like that. Like that. That is called shushrusha. Commonly understood. Shushrusha. And but real meaning of shushrusha is shrotum icha. Shrotum icha is shushrusha. Means the desire to listen. The desire to listen. With or without this, what is this called? This is called Bluetooth. This laptop speaker is gone, so I have to use Bluetooth or something like that. Bluetooth is working. That Wi-Fi, the thing is working. So good. So listening, desire to listen is called shushrusha. But it has common meaning of shushrusha is doing seva. Doing seva. Do you know why it has come about? That is because our Prajapati, Brahmaji is there. Indra and Virochana approached Brahmaji to study. And Brahmaji said, Tishta, just stay, no problem. Just hang around and do whatever you want to do. And for 32 years, 32 years, I don't know where this number 32 comes from. 32 years, Tishta. So simply they were doing seva. A lot of work is there. You're all gifted people, Indra and all. So they did seva for 32 years. Then a little bit of teaching they got. They got a little bit of teaching. And after that, Brahmaji must have decided, okay, I think they need a break. Too many classes and too much of all this Karna Shariram, the Shariram, that Shariram and all that. So, Ajnanam, Jnanam, Paravidya, it's all too much. So at least introduction I've given. So Tishta, another 32 years you hang around and do some seva. Do some seva. Karma Yoga Buddhi Praptyartham, he must have thought. And so, another 32 years, then another package was given, and then some more time to mull over it, and then do some more seva. So 32, 32, 32, and then after that another 5 more years, I think. And so it became 101 years. Ekashatam havai varshani, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Ekashatam havai varshani, Prajapatau Brahmacharyamu vasa. Look at that. Ekashatam havai varshani. Ekashatam means 101. 101 years they stayed, it seems. Where it Prajapatau? In the Brahmaloka. Prajapati Loke. Prajapatau. Okay. Brahmacharya Muvasa. Look at that. Look at that. So Brahmacharya. Because outside he is going running around all over the place. Indra. They all get lost. So best place for Indra to study is you have to be in the ashram. He can't do MP3 and all, it won't work for him. And so Brahmacharya Uvasa for these two people. And Uvasa means Avasat. They lived in the ashram as brahmacharis. That's one thing about ashram. Ashram you go, then everything else is kept outside. Everything else is not available. And so there, because so much time was spent doing seva there, study time very little. We speak contact time with Prajapati. That's why I think it has all become, Shushrusha has become called as seva. Okay, seva. And so, but here Shushrusha literally means listening to the Shastram from the words of a teacher for somebody who knows. So that is just by the way. Why should I have desire to listen? That's what. I can't self-study. Self-study won't work here. Shushrusha is important. Let me keep my books, nothing wrong. Books are always useful, no doubt. But that deconditioning can happen only when I listen to somebody. Otherwise, with the same conditioned mind, I will look at all the text. Text won't speak to me, I have authority over the book. I will decide how to interpret what is there in the book. That's why they say Gurum Pasidet. And in Sadhana Panchakam also we saw this Jignasur Atmanaha. You know what we saw there? Papa Ugaf Paridhuyatam Bhavasuke Dosho Nusandhiyatam Bhavasuke Doshaha. Hey, this life is going to be like this only. Up and down only it's going to be there. Some days I'm okay, other days I'll have a headache. Headache will come and go, come and go. Cold will come and go, come and go. Fever will come and go, come and go. There is no stoppage to this at all. Bhavasuke dosho nu sandhiyatam. Then what? Atmecha vyavasiyatam. Atmecha vyavasiyatam. Nijagrihat turnam vinirgamyatam. Atma icha vyavasiyatam. There, Shankaracharya is very clear. Jignasuru. Atmanaha tattva jignasuru. Atmecha. May you encourage, may you nourish your desire for Atma. Like that he had said there in the Sadhana Panchakam text. Same thing here also. So, Tattva Jignasuru Atmanaha Upasidet Gurum Prajnam. So he is giving an adjective to this Guru. That Guru is none other than a Prajnaha. Prajnaha eva Prajnaha. Prajnaha. Prakashena Janati iti Prajnaha. One who knows clearly. One who knows this subject matter, Atma, of course. One who knows Atma clearly. Clearly means what? Is there a way to know unclearly? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible to have half-baked knowledge of Atma and all that. And then, so that's not correct. So Atma has to be known. Not Atma is aparoksham. Okay. Atma Vidya. Atma is Brahma. Aham Brahma Asmi. Brahma is not something out there. And if I think of Brahma as something out there, Paroksha, that is not called clear knowledge. That is not prajna. That is not prajna. Okay. Hey, prajna means I must know this aparoksha jnanataya. Means I finally understood that Aham Brahma Asmi, not Saha Brahma Asti. Ishvara is Brahma. What is the use of knowing Ishvara is Brahma? It's not of no use to me. So Aham Brahma Asmi is so important. So such a person is called Prajna. Then of course, why should I meet a guru? Is there? That answer is given here. Yasmat bandha vimokshanam. Yasmat, from whom? From whom this thing can happen? Bandha vimokshanam. Moksha from bandha can happen. From which I can be free from bondage. From whom I can understand that bondage is really a notion. It is an idea that I have learned as a child that this is how life is, and somehow I have to make it. Yeah, somehow I have to make it all right. But then that is not the reality about myself. Bandha is a projection. It is a conclusion born of not inquiring. It is avichara siddhaha. Bandhaha is avichara siddhaha. Means what? Hey, it's a conclusion we have all come to together. And we're saying we're bound, we need to go to heaven. These are all wrong ideas. And so, because Atma is free, Atma cannot be bound. And therefore, Bandha Vimokshanartham Gurum Upasidet. For the sake of release from this bondage, I approach a Guru. And earlier also he said in Shloka number 6, Ato Vicharah Kartavyaha Jignasur. What did he say? Number 6. Ato Vicharah Kartavyaha 4, 5, 6. Jignasur Atma Vastunaha. Okay, 6 also we've seen it. Atma Vastunaha Jignasoho Vicharaha Kartavyaha. So there a capsule was given. So now details are being given. And Samasadhyadaya Sindhum. Here Upasidet Gurum Prajnam. Gurum Brahma Viduttamam. So there also he had said that. And so those are all connections we can make. Yeah. So let's look at the translation of this shloka. The one who wants to know the truth, the one who wants to know the truth of oneself, truth of oneself, and is endowed with, and is endowed with endowed with the aforesaid qualifications, the aforesaid qualifications, should approach the teacher, should approach the teacher who has the knowledge of, who has the knowledge of the Shastram, should approach the teacher who has the knowledge of the Shastram, and from whom liberation from bondage would take place. From whom liberation from bondage would take place. Okay, let me read it. The one who wants to know the truth of oneself and is endowed with the aforesaid qualifications should approach the teacher who has the knowledge of the Shastram and from whom liberation from bondage would take place. So the shlokas are that way. You can see now how this Shruti and Smriti, how they are different. Understanding the Upanishad mantra versus understanding these shlokas. There's a big difference. Here the words are it's more straightforward to follow. Upanishad mantras, little bit digging is required. Shakra Bhashyam is required. All right. Now we are doing shloka number 19. Okay. Shrotriyo Vrij. Okay, this is a little different. श्रोत्रियो वृजिनो कामहतो यो ब्रह्मवित्तमः
श्रोत्रियो विजिन्नो कामहतो यो ब्रह्म वित्तमः
ब्रह्मण्युपरतः शान्तः
ब्रह्मण्यपरतः शान्तः
निरिन्धन इवानलः
निरिन्धन इवानलः
अहेतुकदया सिन्धुः अहेतुकदया सिन्धुः
अहेतुकदया सिन्धुः
बन्धुरानमतां सताम्.
बन्धुरान्मतान् समात्.
Once again, Shrotriyo Vrijino Kamahato Yo Brahmavittamah.
Shrotriyo Rijuno Kama Hato Yo Brahma Vittamaha.
Brahmanyuparatah Shantaha
Brahmanyu Paratah Shantaha.
Nirindhana Ivanalaha
Nirindhana Ivanalaha.
Ahetukadaya Sindhuhu
Ahetukadaya Sindhuhu.
Bandhuranamatam Satam.
Bandhuran Mata Satam.
Yeah. So, two shlokas, number 34 and 35 of Vivekachoodamani are compressed into one here. Okay. So now, the Guru, so far the qualifications of the Shishya was talked about. Now, Guru also must have certain something. Something must define what a Guru is. You have to tell me, just like you told me what a Shishya should be, who should be a Guru? Who can be a Guru? Or who is a Guru if we ask? Then that is being mentioned in these two or three two shlokas, in fact. One shloka actually. Correct, yeah, one shloka. Next shloka is different. And so before we go here though, there is a shloka that was skipped, which is not here in the printout that is given to you. Okay, it's number 32 of Vivekachoodamani. Write this down. Let me dictate it. You write it down if you don't have it with you. Okay. Moksha karana samagryam. Okay. Later on, Ramuji will tell you what it is. Moksha karana samagryam bhaktireva bhaktireva gariyasi bhaktireva gariyasi. मोक्षकारण सामग्र्यां भक्तिरेव गरीयसी स्वस्वरूपानुसंधानम 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 भक्तिरित्यभिधीयते भक्तिरित्यभिधीयते भक्तिः इति अभिधीयते भक्तिरित्यभिधीयते. Okay. So what did I say? Moksha karana samagryam bhakti reva gariyasi swaswarupanu bhaktirithyabhidhiyate. Okay. So in that shloka, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is talking about bhakti. Because jnanam, we talk about jnanam most of the time. We don't talk that much about bhakti at all, in Advaita Vedanta. Even though bhakti is taken for granted. And but here he says, Moksha karana samagryam. Samagri means things, things that are used. You have to cook, you need a lot of things. From vessels onwards, everything is needed. They're all called samagris. You do a puja, you need samagri. You need a homa, you need samagri. And you have to go out, you need to buy samagri, you need samagri. Like this is called samagri. And so moksha karana samagryam means among all the samagris that are there for moksha, correct? Mokshakarana Samagriyam Bhakti Reva Gariyasi. Bhakti is the greatest. Bhakti is the greatest. Gariyasi means greatest. Bhakti Reva Gariyasi, most superior. Okay. Then next line. Swaswarupanu bhaktirithyabhidhiyate. Okay, then what is bhakti? Bhaktiriti abhidhiyate. Bhakti is known as, bhakti is defined as Swaswarupanu Sandhanam. Swaswarupanu Sandhanam. Anusandhanam. Knowing one's true nature is called bhakti. That's what he is defining. Is this the definition of normal definition of bhakti? He's saying, hey, love for Bhagavan is there, but you know what? Love for the self is even greater than the love for Bhagavan. Okay? I love Bhagavan for whose sake? Bhagavan's sake? Bhagavan's sake, I don't have to love him because he's good at taking care of himself. Why should I worry about Bhagavan? I have enough worries in my thing. He doesn't need my worry also. So I don't have to love Bhagavan for Bhagavan's sake. I love Bhagavan for my own sake. That means what? That Atma. Atma Bhakti is the greatest bhakti. I love myself. Whether or not the world changes, doesn't change, whether there is this, that, it doesn't matter to me. But I love myself and I want to preserve myself. This I is so important. Therefore, he is saying, Swaswarupanu Sandhanam. That is the Advaita Bhakti is great, even greater than Dvaita Bhakti. Dvaita Bhakti only can bring me to Advaita Bhakti, no doubt. Okay, but Advaita Bhakti is the king. And that's what he's saying. We need to move from Dvaita Bhakti to Advaita Bhakti. So it's an important thing we quote periodically. I have also quoted it. And so that shloka is there. Swamiji also mentions in his talks. And he selected 108 shlokas, for Puja Swamiji when he was teaching in Sandipani or something, I think. This must have been in Sandipani. And Swami Paramarthanandaji was asked to select, because 500 and so many 46 verses is too big. Too big means nothing wrong in being big, but there is some ideas that are repeated from shloka to shloka. So there was a chance to, which Swamiji felt that you could make it a little more concise. And so, so this shloka, it's what a difficult job it is to compress 550 Shankara shlokas, not ordinary shlokas. Shankaracharya is not ordinary. And you are trying to summarize Shankara, is it? You are trying to summarize Shankara? 580, is it? Yeah. So, it's going to be a tough job. And so, Paramartha did that job. And so, he was mentioning this in class. So, I thought I'll let you know. All right. Now we are looking at shloka number 19, which is Shrotriyaha, Avrijinaha, Akamahataha. I hope you're able to see that in your printouts. So there is an A that is Lopa. It is not there. It is Sandhi, it goes away. Shrotriyaha, Avrijinaha, Akamataha, Yaha Brahmavittamaha. Brahmanyuparataha Shantaha Nirindhanaha Iva Analaha Ahetuka Daya Sindhuhu Bandhuhu Anamatam Satam Guruhu Asti. Like that you have to add, otherwise the sentence will be incomplete. The one with these qualifications is a Guru. Yaha evam asti saha guruhu asti. So saha guruhu, like that you can add at the end of the shloka. That will complete the sentence. Every word here is describing who that person is. Okay. All right, let's start with the first word itself. Shrotriyaha. A very important word in Vedanta, and you will find it. It comes from the Mundaka Upanishad. It also comes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is directly Shrotriyo Shrotriyaha, Avrijinaha, Akamahataha, that those three words occur in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad number 4.3.33. And there also it says that Shrotriyaha, Vrijinaha, Akamahataha. So Shrotriyaha, the one who knows the Shastram, one who has studied the Shastram is called a Shrotriyaha. Traditionally studied, Shrotriyaha. And there is another word that goes along with Shrotriyaha in Mundaka Upanishad.
या ये भी कर सकते हो
Sab-
कि नहीं लगाओ क्या है उस लकड़ी का
Okay, right. So Shrot in Mundaka Upanishad, they are going to see Sa Gurumeva Vigachet. May that person who is an adhikari go to a guru, and who is that guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Like that it says in Mundaka Upanishad. So here also he says Shrotriyaha Brahmavittamaha. That Brahmavittamaha refers to the Brahmanishtam of the Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, Shrotriyaha has studied the Shastra. Then there is somebody who is a jnani. I can study the Shastram, but I don't have the knowledge. There is somebody who has the knowledge but has not studied the Shastra. Is it possible? Yeah, Shastram says it is possible. It's possible because by Purva Janma Vasana, the person can become a jnani in this life. Purva Janma Vasana is there. Shastra was studied and everything. But then something was pending, and so the person was born, and that person has become a jnani. Person knows what is what. Okay. So it's possible to be a jnani without studying the Shastram. And then one can study the Shastra. Both are required. For what Shankara is saying here is both are required. If you have a Shrotriya who does not have Brahmanishtatvam, then what happens? That person is he knows how to teach this Shastram because he has studied himself herself, right? He or she knows how to teach. That person knows that this is Paravidya, it is not Aparavidya. This is all deconditioning. There's a lot of deconditioning required. Karma yoga is required. Ishvararpana buddhi, prasada buddhi is required. This is apraptasya praptihi. All that other vidyas are all apraptasya praptihi. All that this person knows. The whole methodology he knows, she knows. That is Shrotriya. But hasn't really completely appreciated what the Shastram is saying. Therefore, that person if the person does not have the knowledge, the person will say more often than not, Shastram says this, Shastram says that. Instead of saying Aham Brahmasmi, Shastram says Aham Brahmasmi. Both are correct statements, no? Aham Brahmasmi, the person says, is correct. Shastram says Aham Brahmasmi means what? I like that. Swami said in a class once. I remember. Means that message is not internalized yet. It is not. It is all somewhat textual. It is not my own Shastram. Shankara is going to say shortly, hey, I am going to start teaching. Listen carefully. Make it yours, he says. Make it yours. Make it yours means don't go. Shastram says this, Shastram says this. You have to say, I am saying it. This knowledge is meant for you. And when knowledge is there, then it's yours. That's it. It's there for everybody and it's yours. Okay. And so, Shrotriyaha is there. Brahmaviduttamaha is there. Or Brahmavittamaha is there. And so, both are needed for the Shastra to work, for the teaching to work. Okay. It may or may not be easy to find somebody who is a Shrotriyaha and Brahmanishtaha both at the same time. And so, in one talk, Swamiji had mentioned, if that is the case, at least go to a Shrotriyaha, because that person knows how to communicate. That person knows what the nuances are. Okay, at least he will not misguide the person. A person who is a Brahmanishtaha but has no means of communicating will be called a mystic. This is where the word mystic will come. We are giving a lot of benefit to the mystic. Every mystic need not be a Brahmagyani, but we are just using that word mystic here. And so that Brahmanishtaha has the knowledge but doesn't know how to communicate. Doesn't know all the things that Shankara is talking in Vivekachoodamani. And therefore, that won't work. Because the student is there. Student needs to know everything. From the basics onwards, you have to tell me everything. And that methodology is not there for this Brahmanishta. And therefore, it says Shrotriya is good to know. How do you know somebody is a Shrotriya means what? That is why we have to live in a society where this teaching is going on. It's going on. Then you will know who a Shrotriya is. The people around you will know who the Shrotriya is. Exactly like, how do you know? You have children and children have to go from middle school to high school. Which school they will go to? Or high school to college. Which college they will go to? You have to know. There are people who know all these things, and you have to inquire, you have to ask, and you will quickly come to know. Who is a good math teacher means how will you know who is a good math teacher? Already I'm weak in mathematics, and I'm looking for a good math teacher. Only a mathematician can figure out who is a mathematician. I'm looking for a mathematician means what? There's no chance. The chance is, it's called apatata jnanam. What people know. There are wise people in society. There are people who are not mathematicians, but they will know who a good mathematician is. If you want a teacher for your children, then that is how exactly here also. Shrotriyaha. People will know. If you ask around, you will end up knowing. Anyway, Shrotriyaha, Brahmavittamaha or Brahmanishtaha. And then that person is a Avrijinaha. Make sure you have the Avrijinaha there. Okay, Vrijinaha means one who has Papa. One who does Papa Karma is called Vrijinaha. Avrijinaha. Hey, the person has grown out of all these cheating, deceiving, lying, and all these things. Papa Karma, anything wrong. Person has grown out of all that because it's first of all requirement a dharmic person anyway. And so the person doesn't do any such things. That person is a Avrijinaha. A person has to live what he's talking. And so that's what he's saying. Avrijinaha. Karma is being done constantly by everybody. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma kriti. Therefore, even a jnani will be continuing to do karma, but not as a sadhanam. Karma is not a sadhanam for a jnani. Because jnani does not need chitta shuddhi, does not need moksha. And so, but karma still has to be done, like teaching is also a karma, eating is a karma, walking is a karma, everything is karma. And if the person has an ashram, managing ashram is also a big karma. Okay? And so, avrijinaha, that person cannot cut corners while managing karma, will not cut corners. That is an avrijinaha. Then what? Akama hataha. Hataha, seized by, killed by, victimized by. Victimized by what? Kama. 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 So, ragadvesha, indriyasya indriyasyate ragadvesha vyavasthitau. Krishna has already said, ragadvesha will be there in every human being. Tayor na vashamagachet. Don't come under the spell. Enjoy the ragadveshas you have. Just watch your raga and say, wow, what kind of desire is this? Really? Is this what I have? This is the desire I have? Like that, you laugh it away. What a silly desire it is. And laugh it away. Okay, like that you can say. But the raga will be there. So here he's saying, the one who is not seized by karma, not a victim of karma. Like that he's saying. Akama hataha. And then Yaha, the one who has all these qualifications. one who is a Shrotriya, Vrijinaha, Avrijinaha, Akamahataha, Brahmavittamaha, Brahmani Uparataha, Brahmanyuparataha. So two words actually it is Brahmani Uparataha. Uparataha seems very close to Uparatihi that we saw. So one good thing is, see, when before studying the Shastram, it all looks very overwhelming. My God, Bhagavad Gita is big and Upanishads are there and they are saying this, they are attending these classes, he is saying that and everybody is attending classes. I am the only person who is just listening about people attending classes. It makes me frustrated. What am I doing here? So like this, these ideas we may have. But once we start studying the Shastram, then we realize, oh, okay, it's all the same message that's coming. And so once I study one text, the second text becomes a little easier. Third text becomes easier to study. Fourth text also becomes easy to study. And it becomes a joy to study at that point. So here, Brahmani Uparataha. One who is Brahmani in Brahman, who is reveling in Brahma. Brahman, reveling in Brahman, whose thoughts are all in Brahman, who knows, even though everything, food is being eaten, food also is Brahman. Annapurne, Sadapurne, Shankara Prana Vallabhe, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. That is Karma Yoga Buddhi. Hey, may this food, may she make this food, give me Vairagya. Means I am now going at it like a dog is going. No, let me may this food help me understand Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. May it give me some control over my own raga, my kama also. That is the prayer. What a prayer it is. I tell you, it is so amazing it is. So maybe we should include this prarthana in our camp, the children's camp that's coming up. You have to fill the stomach, you have to eat until they say, yeah, correct, that's right. But look at what the shloka says. It says something different. It doesn't say fill your stomach. And so, jnana vairagya siddhyartham. And so, like that, brahmani uparataha, that jnanam. So, once I have that karma yoga buddhi, then I am now a jnana yogi. I am pursuing knowledge. Therefore, everything I must see Brahman in everything. Brahmarpanam Brahmavihi, Brahmagno Brahmanautam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavya, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Everything is Brahma. And therefore, I'll have to deal with situations practically. Just because everything is Brahma, nothing is going to become easy for me. It's still same problems are going to come to me also. But I now have a different view of things. And so let that person, that guru must be clear about that, must lead a life in that manner. So Brahmani Uparataha. Then what? Shantaha. Okay, it's 7:31 here, 7:32. So I think I've exceeded 2 minutes here. So we'll continue. Shantaha Nirindhana Ivanalaha is giving an example. Then Ahetuka Daya Sindhuhu, another popular word. And Bandhuhu Anamatam Satam Bandhuhu. We'll see all that in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.